How to start a transport company in the UK. In this video, I will talk about major steps of setting up a transport company in the UK. So first step I would strongly recommend you take is to find out where the work is going to be coming from. So visiting some companies, or maybe you know some existing companies that need something transporting, or setting up a relationship with the larger haulier that is currently subcontracting their work is a very good way to start. That way you will be able to find out the rates they offer and then build some business plan based on this. Now that you know where the work is going to be coming from and how much you can be potentially earning, it's worth looking into setting up a company. Most people set up a limited company for the transport business. However, there are sole traders and partnerships as well. With that, you need to look into setting up a VAT registration, getting the accountant, setting up a bank account, and quite importantly, looking into how you're going to finance the business, because obviously you will have to invest some money to get it going. With finance, you will need to consider sourcing the vehicle or vehicles. You will need to consider fuel, driver cost, yard parking cost, maintenance, and legal fees. And quite importantly, you will also need to demonstrate that you have enough money for the upkeep of the business for the operator license application, and ongoing demonstration to traffic commissioner that you have enough money to run the business. Now that we've set up the company, we've got our funding, and we know where the work is going to be coming from, then we can look into what type of vehicle we will be using. So depending on the vehicle size, then we will have to apply for certain licenses. Now, if you are operating vans and you are operating it within the UK, then you would be looking into maybe waste carriers license or things like that if you are moving waste. However, if you are not, then you are pretty much good to move on to the next steps. However, if you are operating vans on the international journeys in Europe, then you need to look into operator licensing. In a similar way, if you're operating a vehicle above 3.5 ton in the UK, then again you need to apply for operator's license to traffic commissioner. So operator license is a very important part for the transport company, as you wouldn't be able to operate legally without the proper operator license in place. Now, for operator license, you will need to show correct financial standing. You need to show the yard, the parking where the vehicle is kept when not in use. You need to demonstrate the maintenance providers, or whether you're going to be maintaining the vehicles yourself. And in that case, you would need to show that you have the correct means to do that. And finally, you need to demonstrate professional competence, which leads us to transport manager qualification. So you would either need to hire someone who has got that qualification, or you need to obtain that qualification and pass the exam yourself. Now that we have operator license in place, then we can go back to our first step, which was our contract, and we can look into sourcing or selecting a right vehicle, which obviously will be in line to what we agreed to move in the first place. There are a number of options of sourcing a vehicle. You can buy brand new, you can buy second hand, you can lease, or simply hire on a short term. After setting up the company, the operator license, having the vehicle, having the contract in place, we need to make sure that we run legally. So setting up compliance system for driver's hours, making sure that the drivers are going to be using tachographs, making sure that we check driving licenses, that the vehicle maintenance is up to scratch. So that means MOT, regular inspections, tachograph calibration, any additional equipment like tail lifts and lifting equipment that may be fitted onto the vehicle, that is inspected on the regular basis and it's safe to use, and we've got documents for it. That's absolutely crucial part, because we don't want to be starting to move the wheels where we are posing a risk on the road and potentially exposing the company to some enforcement actions from authorities. That's not a very good way to start. So obviously making sure that these things are in place are very important. Moving on, we need to set up our insurance. We need to set up our permissions to enter major cities, stuff like congestion charging, making sure that the vehicles are registered for stuff like direct vision standard in London, making sure that the correct equipment is fitted for that. Absolutely important to do this. Obviously, our transport manager should be very proactive in helping with setting these things up. However, it needs to be completed nevertheless, because otherwise the company will start paying heavy fines from start rather than continuing to earn money. Vehicle maintenance compliance can be managed by fleet management software, making sure that your reminders, your planner is online, and all the documents can be stored online as they arrive. Driver walk-around checks are absolutely crucial for compliance, and making sure that you can demonstrate that they have been completed and recorded is absolutely key to demonstrating good compliance standard. We can definitely recommend using Fleet Planner app for the walk-around checks and our fleet management software to meet this requirement. After we've set up the company, we've got all the operator license, we've got the contract, we've got the vehicle, and we've set up the compliance and all the permissions, we need to have a driver that will be driving the vehicle. So it's going to be either the owner of the business, the director, or someone who's involved directly in the business, making sure they've got correct driving license, or we simply hire experienced driver who has got all the permissions, which are category C or C+E if we drive with the trailer, making sure that the driver's got digital tachograph if we've got a digital tacho fitted. Obviously most vehicles these days do, so digital tachograph is absolutely a must. Obviously whoever drives our vehicle will also need to demonstrate CPC card for the driver CPC qualification. And if we've got any additional equipment like cranes fitted to the vehicle, then we will obviously need to make sure that the driver is trained to use this equipment and has got correct tickets for it. Now that we've set up the transport company, we've got people in place, we've got equipment in place, we've got all the permissions, we can start moving the goods for our clients. We need to make sure that we manage things properly and the payments are coming in on time, to not affecting our cash flow. In most cases, there will be some time delay for the operators from the time they complete their job to the moment they're getting paid. So obviously observing the payment terms on the invoices is absolutely crucial, and making sure that we are managing our expenses as well, so the cash flow is not affected. Stuff like payment terms on fuel bills, payment terms on maintenance and other company expenditure. We will obviously need to make sure that the drivers are getting paid on time and we've got enough cash, there is enough slack to keep the company going if there is any problems. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Please give us a like and follow us, or subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. My name is Roman. This is a Fleet Planner Transport Compliance video.